Okay, so based on our ticket of understanding that you completed for me, a lot of you said you need more work on these inequalities. And we do have a quiz on this on Tuesday, so it's probably a pretty good idea to go over it one more time. So an inequality is your greater than or less than or equal to sign. Okay, so basically if I have like x is less than or equal to 4, I'm telling myself that x can be any number of 4 and below. Okay, so you can try different examples to see if they will work. So I could say it says less than. So if I plugged in 3, would this statement be true? 3 is less than or equal to 4. And obviously that's true. And because it's including 4, we can say 4 is less than or equal to, so it's the equal to 4. Okay? So basically, once we kind of have an understanding of that, we want to graph this. Okay? So I know that it can be all numbers 4 and below. So we have our little friend Springy here. Let's see if he'll make noise for us. No? Oh, there we go. So we put him at 4. Okay. Now, one of the big rules, and I saw it in a lot of your notes, so that was good, is that if it's equals to, it includes that number 4. So we have to put a solid dot at 4. And then if I'm Springy, I'm going to hop down to all the numbers that we can put in for x. And he's going to hop on down into infinity. He's going to just keep on hopping. So we want to draw our line that shows all the numbers that can be possible for x. So when I do this, that means 4 and all the numbers below it, I can plug in here and it'll work. Okay? It will be a true statement. So, and then another little trick is this sort of looks like it's pointing to the left direction. And so that's kind of a key. But that only works is if the inequality is on the left side. If I had it written this way, it still says x is less than or equal to 4, but x is on the right-hand side. And this would be telling you to go to the right, which is incorrect. Okay, so this little trick of where it points to only works when x is on the left-hand side there. Okay, so let's look at another example. Okay, so let's just say I had, let's say 3 is greater than x. Now, it's easier to read these from the variable point of view. So that says x is less than 3. We read that from right to left. It gets a little confusing. So what I do is I always switch it so that my variable is on the left side. It's just easier to read. So if we're going to flip the variables around here, I'm going to put the x here. I'm going to put the 3 on this side. Because I switched them, I've got to switch the inequality also. It says x is less than 3. Okay? And then hopefully you learned, again, it's all numbers below 3, not including, because the line isn't under here. So again, I'm going to put my frog. He can't be on 3. He's got to be just below 3. See, the back of his leg is just below 3. That is so cool. And so then he's going to hop down to any of the numbers below 3. There goes Springy. Okay, so if I want to graph this, I want an open circle at 3, because the open circle means not including 3, but everything below 3. And again, that inequality looks like it's pointing to the left, and that's correct. It's less than. So if I put in -2, -4, -5, that would all be true. -5 is less than 3. I could put in positive 2.99, and that is less than 3. Okay, so it's not 3, because this wouldn't be true. Is 3 less than 3? No, but it's anything below there. Okay, so I think you guys probably got that part. I think it's probably solving the equation part that's an issue. So I just wanted to hit that real quick, and then we're going to look at solving the two-step equations here. All right, so this problem is on the IXL grade 8 x.7. All right, so now for some reason I can't get my little smartboard stuff on here. So I cut and pasted this. So first of all, we want to solve for p and then graph it on the number line. So I went ahead and just cut and pasted it over here. Okay, so I'm going to solve for p. And just like any two-step equation, you always want to get rid of the adding and subtracting first and then take care of any multiplying and dividing. Okay, so I look over here and I see a plus. This says 2 times p, so I know I want to do that second. I got to get rid of this -1. So I say to myself, what's the opposite of -1? And hopefully you know the opposite of -1 is +1. -1 and +1 will give us 0. If we add 1, if we do that to the left side of the inequality, we need to do it to the right. So that will give me 8. So I'm going to bring down my 2p is greater than or equal to 8. And then this is 2 times p, so hopefully you know the inverse of multiplication is division. So I do 2 divided by 2 will give me 1p, or we can just write p. And then we divide by 2 here, and that will give me p is greater than or equal to 2. Or not 2, sorry. How about 4? Oops. Okay, so we have greater than or equal to 4. Let's divide by 2. All right, so remember that. So now we want to go over to our IXL page, and we have this little thing here. So we want to click on it here, and then we want it to go all the way down. So I'm going to just click down this way. And I wanted it solid because it was including it here. Okay, so that means I can pick any of these numbers. So I could put 6 in here, and that would give me 12 plus -1 is +11, and +11 is greater than or equal to 7. So what I'm saying is 4 and any number above 4 will plug in for p, and this statement will be true. Okay, so we did a great job there. Okay, so now let's look at this equation right here. Okay, so as we go through these get a little bit tougher. So we're going to look at this problem here. Again, I want to get any adding and subtracting out of the way. So I say this is -4, and some of you guys like to do this. Either way is fine. The opposite of -4 or -4 is +4. So we're going to add 4 there, and we're going to add 4 here, and that's going to give us -3 and 4 is 1. So then this one seems to throw a lot of people off. This is y divided by 4. And so you have to say the opposite of dividing by 4 is multiplying by 4. So if I multiply this by 4, I can cross cancel, or I can say 4y over 4 is 1y. But then I have to multiply by 4 here. So that's going to give me y is less than or equal to 4. Okay, so let's go back here. And here's my 4, and it was equals to, so I wanted a solid line, and then I clicked down the end, and then we did a great job. Okay, now this one is one I want to look at as well. All right, so here I have the variable on the right side, so I need to get this stuff to go away. I have 15 minus 6 times 5. Sometimes it helps if you will just say the equation out loud. 15 minus 6 times 5, okay? So again, the multiplication we want to do secondhand. So I have to get rid of +15. So the opposite of +15 is -15. So we'll do that here. And so that's going to give me -12 is less than, and then a lot of times an error occurs right here. And I've been telling you guys, we've been working on this, that minus sign goes with the 6s. That's -6s or -6s. Okay, so now we want to divide by -6. Okay, so -6 divided by -6 is +1s, or just s. -12 divided by -6 is +2. And then we wrote down this rule that when you multiply or divide by a negative number, this sign flips its direction. So it looks like this. So now 2 is greater than s. And then remember, I like that variable on the left side because it's a little bit easier to read it. So I'm going to switch this around to s over here, to 2 over here, and then because I switched those around, I've got to switch these around. And that reads s is less than 2. Okay? And so I'm going to go here. Now it's less than, so I click that twice till I get the open circle, and I go all the way down. And yay, we did excellent, okay? So now I would like you to continue this practice on your own. You will go to IXL 8th grade, X.7, and you will start and work. And I would like you to work on problems for 15 minutes. Now keep in mind that the program will tell me how many problems you did, which ones you got right or wrong, and how long you worked. So please work for 15 minutes. Also remember that if you get one wrong, it keeps giving you those types of problems. So on the easy ones, you really need to make sure that you're paying attention and that you're putting it in correctly. Otherwise, it'll think that you don't understand. So Springy and I say good night. I know it's a little extra work, but we need to work on this area, okay? So a little bit on IXL. Mwah. See you tomorrow.